age total of 3666. The enemy inverts things, turns things upside down. The number of children who were killed was 9. Their ages were 9, 9, and 9. That's the inversion. Turn it upside down is 666. In Minnesota,
discharge a debt, you cannot pay a bill. So consequently, you need to understand, what do you mean discharge a debt? Now it gets back to the court again. Now it gets back to the symbols and emblems of why the judge wears a black robe. It has to do with the planet Saturn. Saturn is the god that inhibits. He's the inhibitor and the law god, the god of law who inhibits, who holds back. He holds back everything and teaches you a lesson the hard way. Saturn. And women were told in the ancient world to listen to their god Saturn, who incidentally was called Lord of the Rings. Okay? And consequently, they're still making movies in Hollywood on Lord of the Rings, the planet Saturn. Women were told to listen to their god, the Lord of the Rings, so they were wearing an ear ring. Men were to get married before Saturn, their god, so they would wear a wedding ring. Consequently, the king would be crowned before Saturn. Saturn would be the round crown or the corona, the ring. Saturn, the god who is the inhibitor, the god of occult law, the mystical god Saturn, Lord of the Rings, who is in charge of and controls all occult law in the universe.
In all of these cataclysmic end times related movies, you see this very subliminal but very clear message of September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Seeking a friend at the end of the world, an asteroid strikes on September 22nd, 23rd, and ends the world. The movie Deep Impact, starring Morgan Freeman. The asteroid would strike on 9/22. Evan Almighty, he said the date of the flood is September 22nd.
Is that when it's going to happen? September 22nd, midday?
The movie Knowing, the date of September 22nd and 23rd, the Earth is destroyed by a solar flare. Little Shop of Horrors, you had this September 23rd event that humans will encounter a deadly threat. The movie Tomorrowland, disaster strikes on September 23rd. In NCIS, Do They Know 23? No. In Jim Carrey's movie 23, he mentions the date September 23rd as the day that hell arrives. In the TV show Sleepy Hollow, September 23rd, a new dimension is opened.
September 23rd, 1780.
Evil is released on September 23rd in the movie Ghostbusters. This is the End with Seth Rogen. September 23rd is the date that the Rapture happens. In the movie Pandemic, the East Coast is hit with this pandemic on September 23rd. In the movie Labyrinth, evil consumes the world on September 23rd. Black Eyed Peas video, the calendar of the month. It goes all the way up to like September 22nd, then just stops. TV show Lost, the plane crashes on a remote island on September 22nd.
What was the date? September 22nd. Was September 22nd.
A day to remember is coming. It is rapidly approaching as the summer is ending. As the summer is ending. This day will change everything and your life will never be the same. It will be a marker in history and everything in your life will be different before and after this day. This is the day you have been praying, hoping, and believing for. Fear not, as there will be much confusion and much will happen in one day. I am the great I am, and there is nothing that I can't do.
Cards always have 52 cards. This is not random at all. In fact, a deck of cards is actually a miniature calendar in your hands. Let us see. 52 cards represent the 52 weeks in a year. Each suit has 13 cards, just like the 13 weeks in each quarter. If you add up all the values, Ace counts as 1, Jack as 11, Queen as 12, and King as 13. The total is 364. Adding one joker makes it 365, exactly the number of days in a year. If the deck has 2 jokers, that is for a leap year. The 4 suits reflect medieval society. Spades represent warriors, hearts represent the church, diamonds represent merchants, and clubs represent peasants. Red and black symbolize day and night. So, when you shuffle and play cards, you are actually holding a reflection of time, history, and society.
It's like you're pregnant.
I'm pregnant?
No, but it looks like you are.
So as you saw, Satan himself, with his own words, told you at the beginning of those clips that 6s are 9s and 9s are 6s. The enemy, which is Jonathan Cahn, the Jesuits, the people that the Rapture retards trust, are the enemies, right? Beware of the ones that calls themselves Jews and are not but lie. So let's start with this. Hinduism, the third largest religion in the world, 1.25 billion people. And in that religion, what do they believe? They believe in reincarnation. So these people believe that when they come back reincarnated, they sometimes come back as rats. And there's temples in India where rats roam freely. They drink the same milk that the people drink, and the food that eat the same food that the people then eat, because rats are sacred. Reincarnation. I mean, literally, they come back as rats. This is what they've been taught since they were little children, right? You think that Mark Allison, if he was taught this since he was a child, would he believe it? Yes. People like him and people like the Rapture retards have severe autism. If they're told this stuff since they were kids, they'd believe it. You think it's funny or it's a joke, but this is what they truly believe. There's a motivational speaker named Brian Tracy. Obviously, this is not him. Brian Tracy was in India and he was telling a story where the story was that he was out of his hotel room. Every day, he would see this man sitting by the bridge. The same man. He would go home at night. The man by the bridge would go home at night. But during the next day, he would come back and sit by the same bridge all the time. And so finally, Brian Tracy went up to him and asked the man, "I see you from my room, sitting here at the bridge every single day. What are you doing? What is your story?" He said, "Young man," to Brian Tracy, he said, "In my religion, we believe in reincarnation. And I come here and sit by this bridge every day because I am choosing to sit this life out." So Islam, Muslims are the second largest religion. What do they believe? They believe that when you die and go to heaven, there'll be women waiting for you there. Virgins, 12 virgins. They look like these virgins here. Okay? And the point is, really, 12 virgins, a big fuck fest when you go to heaven. That's what they believe. Okay? And the first largest religion by a small, slim margin is Christianity. What do they believe? The Christians, they believe that Jesus is going to float down from the clouds and they're going to float away in the air. But that sounds totally normal. Totally normal. You know, being reincarnated, Big Joe coming back as rats and sitting this lifetime out, you know, going to heaven, having a big fuck fest, or in Christianity, floating away. Jesus coming to get you and you're going to float away. Guys, really? Maybe when you were growing up in 1950 or 1960 or whatever year, when you were younger, before the internet, you know, the pastors told you this and your parents told you this. But now it's 2025. You know that earthquakes are fake. You know that eclipses are fake. You know they're doing this on purpose if you educate yourself. This all religion thing is to control people. Obviously, there's a higher power, but nobody's going to float down from the clouds. You're not going to come back as a fucking rat. And there's not 12 goddamn virgins waiting for you in heaven. A big orgy, fuckfest. Don't be a fucking retard. And do you think people like Steve Fletchfuck, Mark Allison, who's a nice guy, but he's definitely, obviously, extremely autistic, you think those people are easily convinced? If you're being told these things since you were a child, obviously that's convincing, right? You can believe what you want. It doesn't matter. But this is all controlled psyop. It's all controlled. They will never give you the truth. Why? Because the religion which they use, the smallest religion in the world, Judaism, right here, according to ChatGPT, the Jews, they control the world. Their interpretation is the only interpretation that matters. On the last video, Jonathan Cahn stated that Kamala Harris's middle name was Diva or Devi or whatever. Debbie, that's what it was, Debbie or Diva, right? And it was a Hindu goddess and she was born on a Hindu holy day. And somebody in the comments said, well, it's all BS. Your interpretation of it is dog shit. It doesn't matter. My interpretation of it is dog shit. The only interpretation that matters is the interpretation of the people that control the world. And the people that control the world have a mouthpiece, and his name is Jonathan Cahn. The Rapture fuckface retards are too retarded to look outside the box. They believe they're going to float away while they're smoking weed and doing shrooms. Okay, and if that's what you believe, that's great. That's your opinion. The point being is, you're not going to, the point being is very simple. The date, they already give you the date when nukes are going to fall on your head, and that's when you're going to float away. That is when you're going to float away. 70% of the world, 7 out of 10 people, haven't even heard of the word rapture before. And when John Cahn mentions the word rapture, then you got to throw up your tentacles and say, holy shit, is this actually real or not real? That's your opinion. Form your own damn opinion. But this is what these religions believe. So you have a total of how many? Roughly 6 billion people, right? 6 billion people that believe either you're going to come back as a rat, you're going to have a fuck fest in heaven, or you're going to float away into the clouds. That's what 6 out of 8 billion people believe. Are you kidding me? This is why society is so dumbed down. How dumbed down is society? How dumbed down is society? This is how dumbed down society is. Nasrallah gets assassinated, allegedly, on September 27th. Florida gets hit by a hurricane on September 26, 2024. September 26th and 27th in 2024. September 26th, Florida gets hit with a hurricane. And on the Julian of September 26th, Florida gets hit with this second hurricane. Nasrallah gets killed on September 27th of 2024. What day is that? If you don't understand this, stop watching this video. It's a waste of time because you're not bright. I mean, not everyone's bright. Not everyone can pass 3rd grade, okay? But this is 3rd grade information right here. A 3rd grader can see this. Nasrallah gets killed on September 27th. What does that say? The 23rd. And what date was it on the other calendar? Because the Jews use 2 calendars, the Torah and the Hebrew. So what day was September 27th? What month was it on the white calendar? The month was Elul. Okay, Elul. Elul means 12. 12/23. In Islam, funerals are conducted as quickly as possible after death, ideally within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, the burial should happen as practical, sometimes the same day. Bottom line is, within 24 hours, immediately after death, right here. So Nasrallah gets killed on September 27th of 2024. What is that day? That date is 12/23. As you see, it was the month of Elul, okay? So what they did was they used the Hebrew month of Elul and the Torah date, the 23rd. The Torah damn date, the 23rd, 12/23. When was Nasrallah's funeral? When was Nasrallah's damn funeral? It was on February 23rd. What day was February 23rd? It was 12/23. 12/23. February of 2025, they had a funeral on 12/23. Do you understand that if you don't stop watching, it's a waste of your time, you're an idiot. 12/23 he dies, and 12/23 they have this funeral. They are precisely using these fucking calendars. They're not using some pothead rapture retard gematria junk. They're not using September 23rd, 2025, and the rest of this gibberish, the feast of morons, the feast of cockroaches, where nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm actually recording this before September 23rd because I already know that nothing's going to happen on September 23rd. It's a retardation date. Well, what did happen in September? On September 10th, what happened on September 10th? You had the fake Charlie Kirk ritual, right? On September 10th, and 33 hours, the good old 33, the Masonic 33 hours later, they caught the guy. What was the date, September 10th? The date on September 10th was July flippin' 18th. July damn 18th. Are you kidding me? What is the date? July 18th. If you go to July 18th, what is that day? That's 10/22. 10/22. Tammuz means 10. And what is the emoji on your phone? It's July 17th. What is that day? That's 10/21. The same day that Iran has a nuke headline came out on 7/17. And like I said in the prior video, on 7/11, the nuclear PSA in 2022 came out. 1021, right? And what do we say? Christmas in July. When is Christmas? Christmas is exactly on Tammuz, means 10, just like December, on 10/25, July 21st. Use your brain. If this is too difficult, stop watching. This is third grade level shit. This is third grade fucking level stuff. So if you go to 10/21, what is that? It's the nightmare before Christmas, but it's also Christmas in July. Because what was the date on December 28th? It was 10/25. 10/25, right? So you got the nightmare before Christmas, 10/21. So let's go to our current calendar. If you go to the date, October 21st, right? On this calendar, what is that day? It's 10/28. And what is October 21st on the other calendar? It's 10/29, it's the 29th, okay? 10/29. The timestamps matter, according to the Q-Psyop. Look at the timestamp in the movie Nightmare Before Christmas, 126, and you just heard Jonathan Kahn say 6s or 9s, unless you're a retard. Then you block that out. When did this movie release? On 10/29. What are the damn odds? On October 21st, the damn date on October 21st is 10/29 and 10/21, and you simply go to damn December, and this year in 2024, last year in your book, 10/24, the date literally in the nightmare before Christmas is 10/21. And if you go to July 21st of 2025, it's Christmas in July. What is that day? That's 10/21 and 10/25. That's how they twist calendars. The nightmare before Christmas, right? And why did I have 1,000 videos about September 26th? Because the end of the year is not the feast of dipshits, the feast of cockroaches. The end of the year is Shimshat Torah, when the last page is read in the Torah. This is why they're telling you they're going to do October 7th over and over again. When was October 7th of 2023? It was on the date Tishri 22. They're twisting calendars. It was nighttime in Babylon. It was October 6th in Babylon. It was October 7th there. So sometime between October 21st and 22nd is October 7th over and over again. This is not fucking rocket science. So what are the odds? The Nazrel funeral. A hurricane hits Florida. So if the end of the year, of when the last page of the Torah is read on September 26th, this is why they push September 23rd. When is September 23rd every year? Sept means 7. It's Shimshat Torah every damn year. September 23rd every year is Shimshat Torah. This year it lands on October 16th. All they're doing is they're going to use the Chinese calendar. All they're going to do is use the lunar calendar. And if you go to the date, October 21st, what is that day? It's August 29th, Terminator Judgment Day. What does August mean? August means 6, Elul 629. And when is that day? October 22nd, September 1st, Tishri 1. So if you go to the Feast of Retards, when is 629, Elul 29? Exactly on September 22nd. This is why they gave you September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Nothing was the same. This date right here is October 21st, right? This date right here, September 23rd. What day is September 23rd? It's October 22nd. And what day where nothing was the same? It's the day, September 24th, which is October 23rd. These are the 3 days of flippin' darkness. Do you understand? Right here, Elul 29, when all the market crashes occur. Obviously, they're not going to do it on September 22nd because the low-level retards, the losers, the Steve Fletch fucks can see this. You know, the autistic ones can see this. The ones they think they're going to get reincarnated or go fuck virgins in heaven. Or the one they're going to float away in the clouds before the nukes fall on their head, the potheads, the shrooms, the shroom ones. So, if Shimshat Torah is the last day of the year, if you study Shimshat Torah, which obviously nobody does, but Shimshat Torah, that time, Shemini Ezra, Shimshat Torah, that's why I knew October 7, 2023, over a month in advance when Dr. Barry Braindead was looking at Yom Kippur and the rest of it back in 2023. the reason I knew it in advance is because it was Shimshat Torah, right? So Shimshat Torah outside of Israel is celebrated on the inside Israel is celebrated on the same day, but outside of Israel it's two separate holidays. So what is the date? What is the date that they push down your throat? The day they push down your throat, J6. They even call it a special day. They even have a name for it. It's called Insurrection Day. If you ask anybody about J6, they push it down your throat. Okay? J6. Use your brain. If the last day of the year is Shimshat Torah, what is 6 days later? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly October 22nd is J6, the 6th day of the year. And if you go and remember that Doc Brown said you're going to see some serious shit on January 4th. January 4th, he said you're about to see some serious shit. The very next day is January 5th. What's the 5th day of the new year? It's October 21st. J5. And what is the Julian of J5? The Julian of J5 is October 8th. Okay? And then, I didn't know this, but Bill and Anna pointed this out in the comments. They pointed out, Anna's pointing out some crazy stuff in the comments. One of the things Anna pointed in the comments that Apple Lily, October 21st is Apple Day. The apple splits. New York, Apple Day. Are you kidding me? And the Big Apple gets hit on Apple Day? Come on, guys. You're not an idiot, or maybe you are. But when did the pandemic begin? The pandemic began on March 15th. On the Roman calendar, what is traditionally March? Well, if October is 10, right, there's 10 months. March is traditionally, October is 8, so what's March? March is 1. March is traditionally the first month. So the pandemic began on 1/15, and they declared the U.S. a national disaster on 1/17, 2 days later, on March 13th. It was the 15th on the Jewish calendar back in 2020. It was the 15th on that calendar right here. March 11th was the 15th, and then they declared a national disaster on the 17th. The circle back ritual. The circle back. So, what month are we in? We're in month 7 and month 1. 1/15, October 8th, right here, right? The Julian of that day is October 21st. So, another fit to our date. Not only did Doc Brown say you're going to see some serious shit when the DeLorean hits 88 miles an hour, this is the Julian of October 21st. This right here. And the pandemic began exactly on 1/15, March 11th. It was 1/15 you just saw. And the U.S. will be declared a national disaster 2 days later. What is that day? Wake me up when September ends. When September ends. So if the year began on September 26th on Shimshat Torah, when does the year end? It ends on Shimshat Torah. October 16th is when the damn year ends. This is why they can use any calendars in between. The year begins on September 26th of 2024, ends on October 16th. We know they're not going to bring it on Shimshat Torah. What they're going to do is they're going to twist calendars, right? They're going to make it a little bit more difficult, or a lot more difficult if you're a Rapture retard. They're going to make it extremely difficult if you think you're going to float away. And I respected Dana this whole time, thought he was actually had some brains and was very articulate, but he was choosing that you're going to float away on September 11th. Complete fucking degenerate. Are you kidding me? September 11th and September 14th and September 17th. The poor kid is lost in outer space. The answer, as you just saw in the Nasrallah comment at the beginning, is in these goddamn fucking calendars. Wake the fuck up. And if you don't like swear words, go somewhere else. This is the tribulation we're going first feet into. There's going to be no niceness. You're going to get pulled out by Chinese soldiers out of your house and get shot in the back of the goddamn head. China, Russia, Iran, they're all coming for Babylon. And it begins on the Great 8th Day. There's a nuclear documentary called the 8th Day. Why would they call it the 8th Day? Why would Israel get attacked on the 8th Day? Why would Florida get hit by a hurricane on the 8th Day? Why is there a song about nuclear war called the 8th Day? Because Shemini Ezrat and Shimshat Torah is the day, and all they're doing is they're twisting calendars. So, once again, what is that day? What is the day on 723? 723, is it October 23rd? No, that's too obvious. They're going to use the lunar. That's why they're pushing September 23rd down your throat, down the throat of the Rapture retards. And Sep 23, so they use stellarium. This is why Dana is always wrong. They use stellarium, right? And they say September 23rd, 2017, the Revelation 12 sign appeared. You really think it appeared on the exact day, September 23rd? No, it didn't. They put it on stellarium, you retards. It appeared the exact day of Shimshat Torah connection, September 23rd, and they have September 22nd, 23rd, 24th in all the movies. No, they just put it on stellarium. It's all fake nonsense. What does Baba Kama 113a say in the Talmud? It says you can lie to Goyim and you can kill Goyim. Baba Kama 113a. Lie to Goyim and kill Goyim. That's why they are lying to you degenerates. You're not going to float away. You're not going to come back as a rat. You're not going to have 12 fucking virgins in heaven waiting for you. What you're going to have is a nuke fall on your head. The eclipses are fake. The earthquake on July 29th was an 8.8 earthquake. What is the Julian of, what's July 29th? 729. And when is 729? It's on October 21st. And what's the Julian of that day? It's right here, 8.8. And if you go to October 21st of 2024, what is that day? On the Hebrew calendar, it was a leap year. On the Hebrew calendar, it was 9/11 on October, right? 9/11, Tishri means 1. 9/11, what was on the other calendar? It was 7/11. 9/11 and 7/11, exactly on October 21st. And as soon as September 26th ended, I said, dude, we're watching October 21st. And what happened? Nothing. But what did they do? On October 25th, they did the Iran-Israel ritual exactly on this day. That's why nobody on planet Earth is hit this many dates. I called out a plane crash, Mayday. Called out the exact headline on November 8th. Literally a month in advance. Did anyone else do that? No, because they're not looking at fucking calendars. And what is the day that they give you? What are they pushing you? They push in Black Monday. 1987, Black Monday. Jim Cramer warns a potential mark similar to 1987. He said this on April 2nd. He said that actually on April 7th. And look at that timestamp. 29 and 729. Are you kidding me? If you can't see this, God bless your soul. Your retarded little fucking soul. God bless it because you're stupid as fuck. What is the date? And look at this. 5/6 market collapse war coverage and I pet goat's eye. Market collapse war coverage. What is the date? August 29th. The lunar of October 22nd, October 21st, you just saw is August 29th. If you go to August 29th, what was that day? It was 5/9. 6s are 9s. Market collapse war coverage. Exactly. This only fits. But what's about Black Monday? Let's go to Black Monday in 1987. Black Monday in 1987 was on October 19th. Let's look at the date, October 19th. What are the fucking odds? Tishri 26. Tishri 26. And what is the date? And what is the date on October 21st? It's Tishri 29. Black Monday on a Taco Tuesday, or more than likely when September ends on October 22nd. September damn ends on October 22nd. The new moon. Okay? And what do all the market crashes occur? On the 29th. On the 29th day. This is why in 2025 why did he not compare it to September of 2008 when it had the market collapse and the financial crisis in September of 2008? Why does he compare it to 1987? Because they're telling you it's Tishri 26. This is why I did not choose a date 2 months. I did not choose any dates in September, any dates in October until the end of October on October 21st. You've had this date 2 months in advance. There is no other fucking date. Wake me up when September ends. Don't be a Steve Fletch fuck, a Dr. Barry brain dead, an autistic lamb, or that God bless his soul, Mark Allison, who's severely injured. I don't know if it's from eating donuts or being dropped on his head, but you can tell by his videos. I can't even watch him anymore, but he's a good guy. That's all I know. But I can't watch those anymore because he's just severely autistic. These fucking imbeciles, literally lost in outer space. This is the day. This is always the fucking day. It was not September 23rd. Use your goddamn fucking head. And what does Blondie show? Blondie shows right here, 12/29. You just saw that August was month 6. And what's 6 plus 6? It's 12. 12/29, and it was a Friday. This is precise, and look at that down there. It's an 8. 8 right there, like they're showing you the number 8. They're showing you this is August. The lunar date of October 21st is exactly August 29th, and the Torah date is month 6 and month 12, and it's a Friday, and there's an 8. And what is the date numerology of the very next day? October 22nd. October 22nd, right there, the date numerology is 77. And what does Blondie show you down there? Wind speed 77. Precise. And what is this day? 10/3. And if you go to September 29th of 2024 on the Torah calendar, 729, what is that day? What the hell is that day? It's exactly 7/3, October 3rd. If you go there, look at this, 729. Right here, 6s or 9s. You go to 729, October 3rd in 2024. Do you understand they can use any of these months? Because the year begins on September 26th of 2024, ends on October 16th of 2025. And what are they going to do? They're going to twist calendars, and they're going to end it on October 23rd. The 3 days of darkness began on October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, precisely connected to Blondie right here, the 8 and the 77. If you don't see this, you don't understand this, you don't understand what New Year's Eve is, when the Great 8 Day is, may the Jesuits have mercy on your retarded fucking soul. And you can see clear as day what they're doing. There's only there's a month of trading days left, but they're going to go to the trend line. They're taking this puppy to the damn trend line, guys. And when is that going to be? They're going to take it right to this area, the 615, 618 on the NASDAQ, on the Qs. Why do they use the Qs? Because the Q is the 17th later. That's why they call it the Q PSYOP or the Q Storm or whatever they call it. And the symbol of the NASDAQ is the Qs. And how long have I had this Fibonacci drawn? Since the beginning of time, right? And what is the very, very highest level on the Fibonacci? Well, obviously, the 1 means 100% from the move from the bottom on April 7th, Liberation Day. April 9th, Liberation Day. If you draw this from the bottom of Liberation Day, precisely at the 17% Fibonacci, precisely at the 38% Fibonacci, it bounces precisely to the penny at the 61. So they're going to go all the way to the tippity-toppity top. And look at this trend line. A trend line, you draw a trend line using 3 touches. That's simple. When was the massive down day on this trend line? When was the massive down day? Exactly on August 13th. And then it died out. It hasn't touched this trend line since, right? August 13th. It touched it multiple times. But what was the date on August 13th? It was the exact day on the Simpsons calendar. It was 5/13 and 5/18. What's 5/18? What's July? July means 5/18. Right there, the exact day it touched the trend line and broke down. And now it's going back to the trend line. So by the time we get to the big day on October 22nd, where do you think this will be? Probably at 620 or 625, somewhere around there on the Qs. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's at 600 right there on Friday. I'm recording this on Friday, September 19th. I'm recording this. It's going to, by the time we get to October 21st, you're going to see this hit the trend line, probably right around 620, 630. Whatever hits this trend line, you're going to see that. That's going to be the date on October 21st. It's going to be close to this purple line or right around there, right, a little bit right there. And then boom, shakalaka, the biggest collapse of your life. Good night, Babylon Pie, the day America dies, the exact day Miss America died, off the 29th floor on January 30th. The 29th floor reported on January 30th, exactly when the Kobe Bryant ritual was on 126, October 21st or 22nd, the 3 days of darkness commenced. We knew it was not going to be September. Unlike the Rapture fuckface retards that pushed everyone to that day, that they thought they were going to float away at every day in September, and eventually they're going to get to October 22nd. Probably not until October 20th. And what's going to happen, like Anna mentioned? Everyone's going to go to Steve Fletch-Tard's December 21st date because nothing's going to happen in September. And all these idiots are going to say, oh, nobody knew the day or the hour. Well, the only people that know the day or the hour are the ones that understand these calendars. And if you understand these calendars, we go to April of 2024. And if you go to April of 2024, what occurred on April 5th? On April 5th, the New York quake. What was that day? What was that day on the other calendar? April 5th. Let's look. It was month 1. Right here. Month 1, day 26. 126, a New York quake. And on 129, April 8th, 129, the exact day on October 21st, the fake eclipse that they made a big brouhaha about. And when was the big day? When was the big day? And on 2017 with the eclipse? On August 21st, Oct 21 was the eclipse in 2017. And what is this day? The second eclipse was exactly on 129. This is all generated. It's fake. Everything is fake. Space is fake. These eclipses are fake. The earthquakes are obviously fake. If I knew only one day in March, I picked, I'm like, watch March 28th and a 7.7 earthquake happened that exact day. Give me a break. Goat and dog rituals. I said, watch February 26th for a goat and dog ritual. Did the Rapture fuckfaces tell you that? Did the Hindus tell you that? Did the Muslims tell you that? No, these calendars told you that. The charts told you that. Right here, this is the day. And when is the big day? It's June 6th when an earthquake happens. If you go to June 6th in 2024, just like Ryan Garcia told you to, what is that day? What the hell is that day? That's 829, the exact day on October 21st and 22nd. That's why they gave you June 6th of 2024. How much more obvious does it have to be? This is why on August 27th, I said the next day is until October 21st, 2 months in advance, unlike the Rapture fucking retards.
Go where you need to go. Do what you need to do. I will be right beside you. I'll follow.